Ladies and gentlemen, something new. Sponsorship Thursday.
The crowd goes wild.
Yeah, baby. At the in the and on this it was Balloon Boom Studios in downtown Holly Hills. I flipped a coin, and you won to go first, Siggy.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. So the story goes is that we split it up. You know, like the high school Champions League starting 11 or thereabouts. Is that you, not anybody else, but you go with what you want everybody to know about your company, Nagele College Planning, and then you go and do a little something about the points of the high school Champions League or high school soccer in general.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. So this is the world premiere, ladies and gentlemen. This is the United States High School Champions League starting 11 or thereabouts on Sponsorship Thursday. I'll work on that a little bit in the shower to see if to tone that down. But you're at it, and basically what you're going to do is be talking, but I'll be listening, but I won't be chatting in.
Okay.
Okay. Have at
Yes,
it,
sir.
Zig.
All right. Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. It is Sponsorship Thursday, and I consider it a privilege to be a national sponsor of the high school National High School Champions League. I've been an active member for the last couple of years. Love seeing the growth in the different markets. And I wanted to introduce you to my company today in case you have someone that might benefit from an affiliation or a conversation with me. And my company name is Nagele College Planning, somewhat self-explanatory. But what I do is I work with primarily soccer families that I can do other sports if needed. And I educate them and help put together a personalized roadmap for each and every family on how to navigate their unique recruiting process. Because every family, every student athlete will have a different experience when it comes to the college recruiting process. And it's not for the faint of heart. It's not always a pleasant process. So having someone like myself that can walk them through that, what to expect, how to deal with setbacks, and how to make sure we are on schedule. And so that's the biggest value I bring. And I'm actually going to up the offer that I have for the Champions League. If you mention the high school Champions League, you're going to get $100 off for my services, which is almost 25% off. So you're saving quite a bit.
Woo! Heavy tipper, baby. Way to go.
And I made a promise from day one, Kevin, and to the Champions League that it's about education. It's about providing opportunities for young men and young women. And not all of them are able to play club soccer or pay the fees that go with it. So the High School Champions League is a huge opportunity for them to play at a very high level, attract some college coaches, and get some video and some film that they can send as part of their recruiting process. So my chat today, I'm not sure how long it's going to run time-wise, but I wanted it to be about the recruiting journey itself. I've got a quote here I want to read to you. It says, "Teaching my kids that skill doesn't outweigh behavior. Your reputation walks into the room before you do." So I have literally seen college coaches cross off players off their recruiting list because they were disrespectful to opponents, referees, their coaches, their parents. That's not what coaches are looking for. They're looking for people that have stellar interpersonal skills that can handle some adversity, So a lot of times, your reputation is going to follow you or walk into the room before you do. So that's a quote I wanted to share with you. And I also wanted to share with you Michael Jordan's recruiting journey. So picture this: 1978, a 15-year-old checked the varsity list. His name was not on there. He went home, locked his door, cried in his closet for hours. And that particular boy was Michael Jordan. So I always think and contemplate, would we have had the version of Michael Jordan that we ended up having, the Hall of Famer and one of the best, if not the best player ever in the sport of basketball? Would we have had him if he didn't get cut by his high school coach in 1978? Philosophical question, but again, obviously he took that very personal. I feel bad for the high school coach that ended up cutting him, but maybe it, elevated him to take his training to another level, have a great career that he did at North Carolina, and then with the Bulls, and even tried baseball. Another story I wanted to share with you is Josh Allen. He is the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. When he was in his senior year, he sent about 1,000 emails to college coaches. He got 0 responses. And he was 6'5", 210 quarterback. But I don't know how many players would continue to communicate with coaches if they sent out 1,000 emails and not get any replies. So again, just like Michael Jordan, Josh Allen could have mailed it in. But what he did is he went to junior college for 1 year. Then he got recruited by, Wyoming. I believe he was the MVP of the Potato Bowl back in 2018, and then got drafted by the Buffalo Bills. And today he's a multimillionaire, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And the rest is history.
Wow.
Another story is Caitlin Clark. Women's basketball, WNBA, All-Star. A lot of people don't know she started out playing soccer. And she credits her soccer time with her vision and her ability to pass, which is obviously critical in basketball as it is in soccer. And a lot of scouts and professional coaches said she would have been on our national team if she would have continued the soccer route. But she chose basketball instead. And again, it all worked out for her.
Wow, man.
And last but not least, we have Livy Dunn. If you're not familiar with Livy Dunn, she is a gymnast that just graduated from LSU. She has 4 million followers plus. And so she used her brand as an athlete to promote herself, raise a lot of money for her lifestyle. Now she is dating Paul Skeen from the Pittsburgh Pirates. But again, athletics and college exposure helped her to create a pretty good living for herself. Now she can charge 50 to 100,000 or more if she endorses a product, mentions the company, because of her followers. Everybody wants access to that. So 4 totally different athletes, 4 totally different, experiences. They all ended up going to college. They all ended up, being elite. So if you want to go play in college, that opportunity is there. But you have to find ways to stand out, and I can help you do that. A couple other things that you want to keep in mind is, take care of business in the classroom. Because if you have good grades, good test scores, and good soccer ability, we can market that, and you have many more opportunities to, latch on with a college team. A lot of college coaches want to see how you handle adversity. So they're going to watch your warm-up. They might see how you react when a goal is scored or you miss a wide-open goal. If it takes you 10, 15 minutes to recover from that, maybe that's not a good sign. Or if you immediately get back and sprint 50 yards to make a tackle, that's a great sign for a coach that they can rely on you to not stew over making mistakes. A lot of coaches look for personal qualities, such as resilience, such as are you a good teammate, a good team player? Are you okay with sitting on the bench at time? Can you live within our culture? It's a word that you're going to hear a lot. So if college is a possibility for you, or you just want advice on how to get into a good college, whether you're an athlete or not, I would love it if you'd reach out and I can, spend an hour with you, kind of listening to your scenario, listen to your situation, give you some advice. And if you want to work together, then, we'll walk you through every step of the way and get some college coaches' attention. And, I'll be there holding your hand / kicking your butt until you officially graduate from high school or commit to a college. And then I hope you stay in touch and let me know how it goes.
Wow.
So that's kind of, why I do what I do. I think that's why Kevin is as passionate about soccer as well. It creates a lot of friendships, a lot of memories. Yeah, not every game goes the way we want it to go, but that's life. So a lot of what I do is as much life coaching as it is college recruiting advice. So you can deal with whatever comes your way, and you can be successful despite sometimes your circumstances, like Josh, like Livy Dunn, like Caitlin Clark, and like Michael Jordan.
Wow.
That's my story.
Wow. It's amazing. Myself and most of all my friends, always the networking that was involved in soccer. That either the players at the time later became company owners, blah, 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 or is because the owner, hey, I remember you. And it's all about the game that the soccer got you into, but yourself, how you branded yourself, your reputation is all a part. It wouldn't, no matter how much you played soccer, if you had a bad reputation, sorry, bro.
Yeah, I mean, how many sane people will get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, for preseason or for conditioning? So I read a great article about a lot of financial firms. They strictly hire athletes because of what they've been through. Because they get challenged, they get yelled at, they get benched, they get whatever, and you need those skill sets and those attributes. When things don't go well in your career or in your life, in your family, your relationships. So I think athletics is a great way to make sure you're prepared for whatever comes your way.
Yeah, and that National High School Champions League is just wow, man. That's like the red carpet, baby. I have to tell you, I could imagine the newspaper articles that would have been written if I was back in the day, or if I had a whale certified back in the day, I would. Hey,
Yeah, if you had that stamp from the whale, you'd be golden.
yeah. So,
Be-
just in close, did you have any dealings at all with that Santiago? Have you ever seen him play and everything?
I have not.
Okay. His last name escapes me, but he's in the Bundesliga, where he was, with the club, and he got in with the Champions League, won it,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next thing he knows, he's playing for the Rowdies.
He's from St. Louis.
No, down there in the Tampa area, the Florida
Oh, I
area.
think I do know him. And Santi, they call him.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah, I think he played for West Florida, no, for Florida Premier.
Yeah,
And
possibly. Yeah.
He did win, I think, a national championship, I think, with them for ECNL.
I don't
And yeah,
know.
great,
Yeah,
great player.
but that the father said, "Hey, we got to get you to high school, man." You know, because what happens is that you need those grades. You're one knee injury away from forget about it. You know, and
When I don't know if we've talked about it before, Kevin. I consider high school, a great cushion between what I call the business end of, club soccer. You can't go 10 months, nose to the grindstone. Whereas, in Florida, we play in the fall for club, high school's in the winter, and then they play club in the spring. And high school to me is as much about being with your friends, seeing them every day, maybe getting your name called out on the intercom. You got your friends, your family can see every game you play. That's why the high school Champions League, I think, is so critical that, we provide that avenue and that outlet for these young men and young women.
I couldn't have said it better. And so, there you have it, Ziggy. We did it, man. The world premiere.
But,
This has been the Satan. I'm a homer. This has been the United States National High School Champions League starting 11 or thereabouts on Sponsorship Thursday with Siggi Nagele and Kevin Whalen. So long, Ziggy.
Thank you, sir.